Hi there, little explorers. Today's story is about three animal friends, a clever parrot, a playful otter, and a kind baby elephant, who team up to solve a very big forest problem. Let's find out what happened in The Day the River Stopped. One sunny morning by the river Bloop, Nina the otter stretched, yawned, and blinked. But something was wrong. The water was almost gone. The fish flopped in puddles. The frogs looked very confused. "Oh no," Nina gasped. She ran down the riverbank to find help. As Nina ran, she saw frogs hopping in circles. "Hang on, little ones," she said. "Help is coming." Up in the sky, Pip the parrot was flying above the trees. He saw the dry riverbed winding like a snake. "Caulk! Something's wrong!" he shouted. He swooped down to Nina. "I see it," Pip said. "There's a huge pile of rocks and sticks upstream. The water's stuck." Nina's eyes widened. "A dam? We need help," said Pip. Together, they hurried to the tall grass meadow. There was Tumbo, the baby elephant, rolling in the dust. "Tumbo," Pip called. "The river stopped." Tumbo sat up fast. "No water? No mud? That's terrible." Nina explained everything. "I want to help," Tumbo said. Pip smiled. "Let's go fix the river." The three friends followed the river upstream. They climbed over roots, jumped across logs, and ducked under vines. Finally, they reached the dam. A big pile of sticks, branches, and stones was blocking the water. "Whoa!" whispered Tumbo. "That's huge." He took a step back. "It looks kind of scary." Pip fluttered onto his head. "That's why we stick together." Tumbo smiled. "Okay, I'm ready." They got to work. Nina slipped through gaps, tugging twigs loose with her paws. Pip flew around shouting directions. "Left! No, the other left! Watch your tail, Nina!" Tumbo used his strong trunk to lift heavy branches. He grunted, he puffed, and he pushed. Little by little, the dam started to fall apart. Then, whoosh! The water rushed through, splashing and swirling. Nina squeaked with joy and jumped into the current. Pip soared through the mist. Tumbo laughed, stomping in the mud and sending water flying everywhere. Back downstream, the frogs sang, the fish danced, the forest came back to life. "You saved the river," someone cheered. Nina smiled. "No," she said, "we did." That night, under a sky full of stars, the three friends sat beside the flowing river. They didn't say much. They just listened to the water and smiled.
Upon a time, in a bright green forest, lived a young turtle named Tilly. She was small, with a shiny shell and big, wondering eyes. Tilly loved to explore, but she always stayed close to home. One sunny morning, she woke up and said, "Today, I'll go a little farther." She packed her leaf bag with a snack, juicy berries and a piece of apple. "Adventure, here I come," said Tilly, with a little hop. As she walked through the tall grass, she met a red squirrel named Ravi. "Where are you going, Tilly?" Ravi asked, munching on an acorn. "I'm going on an adventure," said Tilly proudly. "Then I'll come too," said Ravi. Together they climbed over mossy rocks and crossed a tiny stream. Splash went their feet, but they laughed and kept going. They reached a big old tree. Suddenly, hoo, hoo, an owl peeked from a branch. It was Penny, the wise little owl. "Where are you two heading?" she asked with a smile. "We're exploring the forest," said Ravi. "Wonderful," said Penny. "May I join you?" Now they were three, Tilly, Ravi, and Penny, marching through the woods. They saw butterflies, bluebirds, and a baby deer. But soon, the sky turned gray. A soft rumble rolled above. "It might rain," said Penny. Tilly looked worried. "We're far from home." Penny flapped her wings. "Follow me, I know a secret place." They hurried through the trees. Leaves danced in the breeze. Drip, drip. The rain had started. Just then, Penny led them into a cave hidden behind a waterfall. It was warm and dry inside. They sat together, sharing snacks. Tilly smiled. "This is the best adventure ever." Ravi giggled. "Even with soggy fur." Penny added, "Adventures are better with friends." When the rain stopped, the forest sparkled. Sunlight peeked through the trees. The friends stepped outside, feeling happy and full of wonder. Tilly said, "I was scared for a moment, but I'm glad I didn't turn back." Ravi nodded. "You were very brave." "And wise," said Penny. They walked back together, past the stream, the old tree, and the tall grass. Soon, Tilly's cozy little home came into view. Tilly turned to her friends and said, "Thank you for making this day so special." Ravi smiled. "Let's do it again soon." Penny hooted, "Next time I'll bring a map." The sun set over the forest, painting the sky in orange and pink, and the three friends waved goodbye. Tilly curled up in her shell that night, feeling happy and proud. Her big adventure had just begun, and tomorrow would bring a new one.
A mighty lion rested under the shade of a tall tree. He was feared by many, yet his heart was calm and peaceful. The wind whispered softly through the leaves above him. Birds sang sweetly, filling the forest with gentle music. Nearby, a little mouse scampered about, searching for seeds. Though small, the mouse was full of energy and curiosity. The mouse sniffed the ground, darting here and there. It felt happy and free, unaware of danger ahead. The mouse didn't notice where it was going. Suddenly, it ran across the sleeping lion's paw. The lion awoke with a roar that shook the forest, his golden eyes fixed on the trembling little mouse. "How dare you disturb my sleep?" growled the lion. The mouse squeaked, shivering with fear. "Please, mighty lion, do not eat me," pleaded the mouse. "Someday I may help you in return." The lion laughed loudly at the idea of such a small creature helping him. His laughter echoed through the trees, startling the birds. But deep inside, kindness softened his heart. He remembered how even small creatures have their place in the world. "Run along, little one. I will not harm you," said the lion. Grateful, the mouse bowed deeply and scurried away. Days passed, and the lion wandered deeper into the jungle. He chased butterflies, watched rivers flow, and enjoyed his freedom. But suddenly, hunters set a giant net and trapped him. The ropes tightened, and the lion fell heavily to the ground. The lion roared and struggled, but the ropes held tight. His strength was no match for the hunter's clever trap. The jungle echoed with his mighty cries. The sound shook the trees, sending birds flying into the sky. All the animals heard, but none dared to come near. They were too afraid of the hunter's cruel traps. Far away, the little mouse perked up its ears. It recognized the voice of the lion who once showed mercy. The boar, mouse's heart filled with both fear and courage. It whispered, "I must help him. I cannot turn away." The mouse hurried across the forest floor. Its tiny paws moved as fast as the wind. At last, it reached the trapped lion, panting and determined. The lion looked down with weary, pleading eyes. "Don't be afraid, my friend," said the mouse softly. "I will help you just as I promised." The mouse began to gnaw at the thick ropes. Its tiny teeth worked with all their might. The lion stayed still, watching with hope. For the first time, he felt trust in someone so small. The ropes slowly weakened under the mouse's sharp teeth. Sweat glistened on the little creature's fur. Hours passed, but the mouse never gave up. With each bite, the lion's hope grew stronger. At last, one rope snapped, and then another. The lion felt the net loosen around him. Finally, the last rope broke, and the lion stood free. The mouse looked up, proudly, at his new friend. "You saved me, little one," said the lion with deep gratitude. "I was wrong to doubt your strength." The mouse beamed with joy, his heart swelling with pride. He had proven that even the smallest creature could make a big difference. From that day on, the lion and the mouse became true friends. They walked side by side, sharing laughter and trust. The jungle animals watched in amazement. They saw that kindness had built a bond stronger than fear. The lion no longer ruled with fear. Instead, he led with wisdom and compassion. The mouse no longer felt small and unimportant. He knew his courage could change the world. Together, they taught the forest that kindness is never wasted. And friendship is the greatest treasure of all. Even the hunters who once set traps learned a lesson. They left the forest, respecting its harmony and peace. So remember, no act of kindness is ever too small. Even the tiniest heart can bring the greatest change, and when kindness is shared, it grows brighter than the sun. For kindness has the power to change the world forever. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to Magic Buddy Tunes for more stories.
High on a sturdy branch, the wise owl noticed a rabbit hopping in circles below, looking frustrated. Concerned, the owl called down, "What's wrong, little rabbit?" The rabbit sighed, "I can't reach the juiciest carrots at the top of the hill." Nearby, a clever fox overheard them and stepped closer. "I can help. I'm fast enough to race up the hill and grab them for you." The rabbit's ears perked up, but he hesitated. "That would be great, but I really want to enjoy the carrots myself." Just then, a tiny ant marched by carrying a leaf. "Why don't we work together?" suggested the ant. The rabbit tilted his head. "Together? How can we do that?" The owl explained kindly, "If we combine our strengths, we can achieve more than we can alone." The rabbit thought for a moment, then nodded eagerly. "Okay, let's give it a try." The fox sprinted ahead, scouting the path to the hill. "It's clear. Follow me." The ant, small but determined, led them through the best route in the underbrush. At last, they reached the hill. The fox spotted the bright orange carrots waiting at the top, but frowned. They were too high to reach. "I can't get them," the fox admitted, feeling defeated. "Let me try," the rabbit said, jumping as high as he could, still too low. The ant observed carefully and brightened with an idea. "What if we stack ourselves?" The rabbit blinked, confused. "Stack ourselves?" "Yes," cheered the ant. "I can climb on your backs." Soon the owl perched on the rabbit's back while the fox crouched down below. The ant climbed up to the owl, who fluttered just high enough to reach the carrots. "I got them," the ant cheered, holding one proudly. They all celebrated their teamwork, laughing together. The rabbit took a big bite of the carrot and smiled. "This tastes even better when we share." The fox nodded proudly, "And we did it together." But in the distance, dark clouds gathered. A storm was coming. "We need to find shelter," warned the owl. Together, they hurried through the forest, searching for a safe place. The rabbit spotted a hollow tree ahead. "Over there!" he called. They all squeezed inside just as the rain poured down. "Phew, that was close," the fox said, shaking off water. Inside the tree, they shared carrots and told stories to pass the time. "I'm glad we're together," said the ant. "It makes the storm less scary." The owl nodded. Teamwork not only helps us reach goals, but also keeps us safe. As the storm raged outside, they felt warm and cozy. When the rain finally stopped, they stepped out to find the forest transformed. "Look at all the flowers blooming," the rabbit exclaimed. The fox spotted something shiny in the grass. "What's that?" It was a beautiful, sparkling stone. "Wow, it's so pretty," said the ant. "Let's take it back to our home," suggested the rabbit. But the stone was too heavy for any of them alone. "We can do this together," the owl reminded them. The fox and rabbit pushed from the front while the ant guided from behind. Slowly but surely, they moved the stone back home. At last, they placed the stone in the center of their gathering spot. "This will remind us of our adventure and teamwork," said the ant. The owl nodded, "and how we can achieve great things when we work together." From that day on, the four friends became known as the best team in the forest. They began helping other animals, sharing lessons of teamwork. The rabbit taught hopping skills, the fox shared speed, the ant showed persistence, and the owl offered wisdom. Soon, the forest was filled with animals working together, inspired by their story. Teamwork makes everything better, they all agreed. One day, a shy turtle arrived. I want to join your team, but I'm not fast like you, he said nervously. The friends welcomed him warmly. Everyone has something special to offer, the owl assured. Encouraged, the turtle began thinking of his unique skills. The turtle suggested a race, not about speed, but about strategy. Let's see who can find the best path to the finish line, he proposed. Excited, the friends agreed and the race began. They all used their strengths, but the turtle's careful planning led him to victory. I did it! The turtle cheered and everyone celebrated together. They learned that every animal, no matter how different, has something valuable to contribute. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.
Rabbit hopped out of its cozy burrow with a backpack, excited to explore the jungle and meet all the animals who called it home. Skipping past flowering meadows and sparkling streams, Rabbit couldn't wait to see what adventures awaited in the heart of the jungle. First, Rabbit met a giant elephant bathing in a river, using its long trunk to spray water and playfully squirt friends nearby. Suddenly, the elephant sneezed loudly, splashing water all over Rabbit, making it shake and giggle as droplets rained down. Next, mischievous monkeys swung from tree to tree, snatching bananas and chattering excitedly while showing off their acrobatic skills. One monkey tossed a banana peel near Rabbit, causing a harmless slip and slide that made both Rabbit and monkeys burst into laughter. Rabbit stopped under a rainbow of parrots, who squawked greetings and showed off their colorful feathers, singing cheerful tunes. A cheeky parrot mimicked Rabbit's hopping sounds, making Rabbit pause in surprise and the jungle echo with giggles. In the dense bushes, Rabbit carefully watched a tiger stretching lazily, noticing its stripes glimmer under the sun and its majestic gaze. The tiger yawned so wide that Rabbit peeked inside in curiosity, only to get a funny face scare that made it jump back. Gentle deer grazed on soft grass, their delicate hooves tapping the ground as they moved gracefully across the clearing. One deer accidentally bumped into Rabbit while running, sending leaves flying everywhere, creating a playful leafy storm. Rabbit approached the riverbank, where a lazy crocodile basked in the sun, barely opening its eyes to watch the water ripple. Suddenly, the crocodile sneezed a tiny bubble, and Rabbit laughed at the funny little water trick that bounced off a rock. A family of lions lounged under a big tree, the cubs tumbling over each other while the adult lions watched proudly. A lion cub tried to roar like its parents, but squeaked instead, making Rabbit giggle at the tiny, fierce sounds. Near a lily pond, bright green frogs leaped and croaked in harmony, enjoying the cool water and summer sun. One frog landed on Rabbit's nose, making it sneeze and jump, while the other frogs seemed to laugh in their croaky way. In a shady grove, a brown bear cracked open honeycombs, savoring the sticky sweetness while buzzing bees danced around. Rabbit accidentally dipped its paw in honey while trying to help, leaving it sticky and slipping around comically. Hopping along, Rabbit met a kangaroo mother and her joey bouncing in the sunlight, showing off their strong legs and long tails. The joey accidentally bounced into Rabbit's back, giving it a funny boost that sent it tumbling into a bush of flowers. A gentle snake slithered across the grass, flicking its tongue and exploring the jungle floor with quiet curiosity. Rabbit jumped back when the snake playfully flicked its tail, then realized the snake was just trying to tickle it. At dusk, Rabbit saw wise owls perched on tree branches, turning their heads around like little jungle detectives. One owl swooped down and landed on Rabbit's shoulder, looking as serious as a teacher, making Rabbit freeze in funny confusion. Tiny hedgehogs waddled in a clearing, sniffing the ground and curling into spiky balls when Rabbit came close. Rabbit tried to pet one hedgehog, but it rolled and bounced like a ball, sending Rabbit hopping back in surprise. Tall giraffes munched on treetop leaves, stretching their long necks gracefully toward the sky, while birds perched on their backs. One giraffe lowered its head curiously and accidentally tickled Rabbit with its long tongue, causing a funny squeal. Slow-moving turtles crossed the forest floor, carrying their homes on their backs and enjoying the sunshine at a peaceful pace. Rabbit tried racing a turtle and slipped on a tiny puddle, only to see the turtle slowly smile as it passed by steadily. Clever foxes darted through the bushes, hunting and playing hide-and-seek among the tall grass with sparkling eyes. A playful fox jumped out and tugged on Rabbit's tail, dashing off while Rabbit chased it in a flurry of laughter. A pack of wolves howled melodiously at the moon, their synchronized voices echoing across the jungle night. Rabbit tried howling too, producing a funny, squeaky sound that made the wolves tilt their heads in amusement. Buzzing bees collected nectar from colorful flowers, making a busy orchestra of humming sounds in the sunlight. One bee landed on Rabbit's nose, causing it to wiggle frantically and jump while the bee buzzed gently away. As the sun set, Rabbit thanked all the animals for sharing their jungle homes, feeling happy and full of stories to tell. Hopping back to its cozy burrow, Rabbit giggled at all the funny adventures, knowing the jungle was a place of magic and laughter.
Tomo, a cheerful boy, lived deep in the jungle surrounded by dinosaurs and animals. Every creature loved him. Parrots sang, monkeys hugged, and dinos smiled wide. He helped baby dinos cross rivers and shared fruits with hungry birds. Tomo's best friends were the gentle plant-eating dinos who adored his laugh. But far away, in a dark cave, lived Gorga, the most feared dinosaur of all. Everyone whispered her name and ran whenever her roar echoed. Yet Tomo felt something different. He believed Gorga wasn't truly bad. One morning, he packed a basket of fruits and set off toward Gorga's cave. He carried the basket carefully, climbing quietly through the thick vines. From inside, glowing eyes blinked. Gorga sniffed curiously at the brave boy. Tomo smiled nervously and offered her a big red mango. Gorga tilted her head, sniffed again, then gently took it with her teeth. From that day on, Tomo visited daily, feeding her fruits and talking kindly. Gorga began to wait for him, wagging her huge tail like a happy puppy. They played by rolling big boulders and making funny splashes in the pond. Giant dinosaur splashing water on Laughing Boy, comic chaos filled the air. Other dinos still didn't know. It was their secret friendship. One day, Tomo decided to show everyone that Gorga had changed. He invited all dinos for a big jungle race, even Gorga. The dinos lined up at the start line, tall, small, fast, and strong. Everyone gasped when Gorga appeared, but Tomo held her hand bravely. The countdown began. 3, 2, 1, go! Dinos thundered through trees, splashing rivers, leaping over rocks. Gorga ran gently, making sure not to hurt the smaller ones. Tomo cheered from her back, waving his hat in the wind. Everyone cheered. They saw the real Gorga, gentle and funny. After the race, they danced under glowing jungle fireflies. Then they flew high on a friendly pterosaur, the wind whooshing by. Below them, Gorga ran, splashing through rivers, roaring playfully at fish. They stopped near a glowing waterfall where baby dinos played peekaboo. Tomo helped a baby dino stuck in vines. Gorga gently lifted it free. They continued to the rocky hills, where loud stomps echoed, boom, boom. Out came Thunderhorn, the Triceratops leader, curious about Gorga. Tomo waved happily, introducing them as new friends. Thunderhorn nodded. The jungle was finally coming together. Suddenly, dark clouds covered the sky. A storm was coming fast. Rain poured and lightning cracked. Baby dinos shivered in fear. Gorga stood tall and spread her tail like a roof, sheltering them all. Tomo hugged her leg and whispered, "You're the bravest of all." After the storm, a rainbow stretched over the wet, shining jungle. Gorga roared softly. It sounded almost like a laugh. They met a family of tiny velociraptors who loved dancing in circles. Gorga tried to dance too. The ground shook, and everyone rolled laughing. They marched together through glowing mushroom fields at sunset. Tomo told stories of courage, and Gorga hummed in her deep dino voice. At dawn, they met a sleepy stegosaurus yawning so loud that birds flew away. They helped him find his missing baby, hiding behind glowing mushrooms. The jungle cheered for Tomo and Gorga, the heroes who brought peace. Gorga lifted Tomo proudly on her head as all the dinos roared with joy. As stars twinkled above, Tomo curled up beside her warm tail, the jungle finally at peace. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe Magic Buddy Tunes.
One sunny morning, Niko tied his shoes, grabbed his explorer backpack, and looked out from his treehouse with excitement. Today was the day for a real jungle quest. "Momo, let's go!" he called out. His monkey friend, Momo, did a big swing from the tree and landed beside him with a cheerful chirp. They walked into the jungle, past tall trees and chirping birds, while leaves rustled gently beneath their feet. Niko felt brave with Momo by his side. Suddenly, Niko stopped. "Wait, do you hear that sound?" he whispered. Momo tilted his head, listening carefully. With a flutter of wings, a colorful parrot popped out from a bush and squawked, "Treasure! Treasure ahead!" Niko's eyes sparkled. Did he say treasure? Momo nodded with a big grin and clapped his little hands. The parrot flew fast through the trees. "Follow me!" it shouted. Niko and Momo chased after it, jumping over roots and ducking under vines. They reached a giant moss-covered rock with a golden paw print shining in the middle. It looked magical and mysterious. Without hesitating, Momo touched the golden paw. A soft hum echoed, and the rock began to move. The ground shook slightly as a secret tunnel opened beneath the rock, glowing with orange and blue light. Niko and Momo looked at each other, nodded bravely, and climbed down carefully, using the vines inside the tunnel. Inside was a twisty maze full of strange symbols, hanging vines and paths that led in every direction. Momo sniffed the air, pointed right, and tugged Niko's sleeve. "That way." Niko smiled, trusting him completely. But suddenly, click, a trap door opened, and Niko slipped with a shout, falling into a dark hole. "Miko!" Momo cried and quickly swung down on a vine to catch him. He was fast and fearless. With all his strength, Momo pulled Niko back up. Niko gave him a tight hug and whispered, "Thanks, buddy." Not far from the trap, a warm glow lit up a hidden corner. There they found a glowing treasure chest. Niko brushed off the dust and slowly opened the chest with both hands, heart pounding in excitement. Inside were sparkling fruits in all colors and a rolled-up magical map glowing softly in the dim light. The parrot landed beside them. "These fruits give powers," it said. "Eat one if you dare." Momo grabbed a red fruit, took a bite, and poof, vanished into thin air with a twinkle. "Whoa!" Niko laughed, looking around. "Momo, where'd you go?" Momo giggled, now invisible, then reappeared with a big silly grin. Niko carefully placed the rest of the fruit into his backpack and held the map up toward the light. The map showed a shortcut back home. Together, they followed the glowing trail toward the surface. As they climbed out, golden sunlight greeted them. The jungle felt warm and safe again. "We did it, Momo," Niko said. They high-fived and looked out over the trees proudly. Back at the treehouse, they sat under the stars, munching bananas and telling their parrot friend the whole story again. "Tomorrow," Niko said, pointing at a tall, faraway mountain, "we explore that." Momo yawned, curled up in Niko's lap, and closed his eyes. The jungle whispered softly around them. Stars sparkled above the treetops, lighting the night sky like tiny treasure pieces. With hearts full of adventure, the two friends drifted into sleep, dreaming of caves, clouds, and new discoveries. And that's how Niko and Momo's jungle quest became their first big adventure, one of many to come.
Peaceful village by the forest, people lived happily among rivers, farms, and tall trees. Two unusual friends, an elephant named Gajra and a monkey named Miko, always watched over them. Gajra was strong, gentle, and wise, while Miko was clever, fast, and full of laughter. They balanced each other perfectly, just like the sun and the moon. One summer, the river began to dry, and the villagers struggled to find water. The children carried empty pots, while farmers looked at their dry fields with worry. Gajra pushed his tusks deep into the ground and used his trunk to dig tirelessly. Finally, water gushed out, sparkling under the sunlight. Miko jumped from tree to tree, guiding the villagers to the new water source. His laughter echoed like bells, spreading hope to everyone. At night, wild animals tried to sneak into the fields and eat the crops. Gajra stood tall at the entrance, his shadow enough to scare them away. Miko swung down with sticks and fruits, throwing them to chase the animals. His clever tricks made the intruders run away in fear. Every morning, children gathered at the village square, ready for school. They laughed, carried books, and waved at Gajra and Miko. Gajra carried the children gently on his wide back, walking carefully down the path. Miko swung from trees above, making the ride fun and joyful. Miko told funny stories and made the children laugh loudly on their way to school. Even Gajra flapped his big ears as if he too was enjoying the ride. When they reached the little schoolhouse, Gajra knelt down gently. The children slid off happily, thanking their two guardians. After dropping them, Gajra walked back slowly while Miko chattered about the day's plans. They knew their duty was to protect the village always. One night, thunder roared, lightning flashed, and the storm shook the village. Trees fell, huts broke, and animals ran in fear. Gajra lifted heavy logs and cleared blocked paths for the villagers. His powerful tusks moved fallen trees like toys. Miko climbed into damaged huts, rescuing trapped pets and children. With quick leaps, he guided people safely out of danger. The storm passed, and the villagers gathered with tears of joy. They knew they could always count on Gajra and Miko. They decided to hold a festival of smiles to honor their two heroes. They decorated Gajra with flowers and painted Miko's face with colors. Everyone danced, sang, and shared food together in joy. The elephant and monkey felt proud, not for the gifts, but for the happiness around them. From that day, whenever trouble came, villagers would say, "Don't worry, Gajra and Miko will help us." And together, the elephant and monkey smiled, knowing their friendship could overcome anything. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. The tall forest trees, painting the ground with golden light. Elephant stretched his big legs while Monkey rubbed his sleepy eyes. It was a brand new day, perfect for an adventure. Elephant lifted his trunk high into the air and let out a long, happy yawn. Monkey sat on a branch above him, stretching his tiny arms toward the warm sunlight. They both smiled, ready to start the morning with fun. "What should we do first?" asked Monkey, hopping down to the ground. Elephant tapped his chin playfully. I know. Let's play, he said with a sparkle in his eyes. Without warning, Elephant reached out with his long trunk and tickled Monkey's tummy. Monkey gasped and let out a high-pitched giggle. Hey, that tickles, he squealed. Monkey climbed quickly onto Elephant's back. He leaned forward and tickled Elephant right under his chin. Now it was Elephant's turn to laugh. They laughed so hard that even the birds stopped to listen. The sound of their giggles floated through the trees. They both flopped onto the grass, out of breath but happy. Monkey rolled over and pointed toward the distance. I have an idea. Let's go to the river. Elephant's eyes lit up. That sounded perfect. They strolled side by side along a winding forest path. Leaves crunched under their feet, and butterflies fluttered past. The river's gentle sound grew closer with each step. Elephant stepped into the cool, clear water. He lifted his trunk high and sprayed a giant fountain into the air. The sunlight made the droplets sparkle like diamonds. Monkey waded in and scooped up water in his tiny hands. With a cheeky grin, he threw it right at Elephant's face. Elephant blinked in surprise, then burst out laughing. They splashed each other again and again. Waves rippled across the river as they played. Their laughter mixed with the splashing sounds. After all that fun, they climbed onto the riverbank. They lay down, letting the warm sun dry their skin and fur. A gentle breeze swayed the grass around them. Later that afternoon, they decided to explore beyond the forest. They found a quiet country road stretching far ahead. It was peaceful, with green fields on both sides. Suddenly, a low rumbling sound broke the silence. Elephant's ears perked up, and Monkey tilted his head. Something was coming their way. A small truck rolled into view, its back piled high with bright green watermelons. The smell of fresh fruit filled the air. Monkey's eyes grew wide with curiosity. A smiling lady was behind the wheel. She slowed the truck as she spotted the two friends. Well, hello there, she called out. She parked the truck and stepped out. Elephant and Monkey walked closer, their faces full of excitement. The lady gave them a kind wave. From the truck, she lifted a huge round watermelon. She handed it carefully to Elephant. For you, she said with a smile. Monkey bounced up and down, clapping his hands. Wow, look at that, he cheered. Elephant grinned from ear to ear. The lady took out a small knife and sliced the watermelon open. The bright red inside looked so juicy and sweet. Monkey licked his lips. Elephant took a big bite, juice dripping down his chin. It was sweet, cool, and delicious. He closed his eyes to enjoy the taste. Monkey grabbed a slice and took a huge bite. His cheeks puffed out like little balloons. He gave a happy sigh. They sat side by side, munching happily. Piece after piece disappeared. The watermelon was almost gone. The lady laughed at their sticky, red-stained smiles. She shook her head in amusement. You two are adorable, she said. She pulled out her phone. Let's take a picture, she suggested. Elephant and Monkey posed beside her, grinning wide. After the photo, Elephant wrapped his trunk gently around her. It was a big, warm hug. The lady laughed and patted his cheek. Not wanting to be left out, Monkey hugged her too. He rested his head on her shoulder. The lady hugged them both back. The lady climbed back into her truck. She waved one last time. Goodbye, my friends, she called. The truck rumbled down the road. The watermelons bounced gently in the back. Soon it disappeared around a bend. Elephant and Monkey turned toward the forest path. The air was warm, and the sky was glowing orange. They were full and happy. Elephant bent down so Monkey could climb onto his shoulders. Monkey laughed as Elephant started walking. The forest welcomed them home. The golden sun dipped low behind the trees. Elephant and Monkey's laughter echoed softly. It was the perfect ending to a perfect day. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to Magic Buddy Tunes for more videos.
Welcome to Magic Buddy Tunes, where stories shine like sunny balloons. From baby giggles to grandpa's grin. Animals and people, let's dive in. Learn and laugh and tales come true. All the fun begins with you.